Does it feel like to you silver should be at least $35 per ounce right now? We have the gold price pressing up to $2,055, $58 per ounce. Can you believe this is happening? Think about if we talked about this back in October 6th. Oh, we did talk about this on October 6th. We did talk about the fact that we could see a new all-time high in the gold price and silver price. Not the silver price all-time high, but the gold price. I misspoke. By Christmas. And here we are in December 1st. Guys, we are knocking on the door, but did we already set a big record with the gold price? And you know the silver price will follow the gold price, absolutely. But did we set a new record with the gold price? We're going to talk about that and why that is so important and why that means we will get to $50 silver by the end of the year. End of next year. My brain's all over the place. I don't know how to react to this. My gosh, we are just having incredible movements in the metals prices. We will get to $50 per ounce silver next year, a new all-time high in gold by the end of this year. That's my prediction. Now, I've been predicting that for a while. It's so critical to remember silver lags gold. Silver also always outperforms gold. So that could tell us, if we get another 20, 30% increase in the gold price in the coming months, we could expect maybe a 50, 60, 70% increase in the silver price by the end of the month. But we're going to talk about this big record that was set by gold yesterday and why that is so critical. But you know who Lynn Alden is? Let's just talk about the foundations for silver and gold. Yeah, we want $85 silver. Yes, we will get $85 silver. Don't forget, right there, see my finger? See that poor little blindfolded bear? That's Smitty, the silver bear. His blindfold comes off at $85, and that's when CoinShop Chris and I go on an around-the-world trip in an RV. I don't know how we're going to get it across the ocean. We'll figure that out to come visit all of you to celebrate $85 silver. But it's happening. But the foundation, let's do a little learning together quickly. Lynn Alden brought this up. She's like one of the brightest minds in finance, becoming extremely popular. They asked her last night, what's the best form of money? What's the future form of money? And she brought up something I've never heard it said this way. And this is going to hit home with you. She said, throughout history, the absolute best forms of money. Somebody's trying to call me. Stop calling. The best forms of money are ones that rise organically from the bottom, not that are forced down. Now think about what kind of money do you think is forced down? What's being forced on us? CBDCs, paper fiat dollars, right? The fiat money system. And what are the forms of money that have risen organically throughout history? Silver and gold, right? They are organic. They actually come from the earth, right? And they have been money forever and ever. I just wanted to share that with you, that concept, because I think that's so critical for us, right? You're a silver stacker. I'm a gold stacker, right? We're stackers, and we need to remember some of the base fundamentals from time to time about what's going on, okay? But in real time, right now, you and I, right now, real time, we are witnessing the erosion of the U.S. dollar measured in real value. China, Saudi Arabia, Russia, Brazil, India, everybody, they're all moving away from the U.S. dollar. They're moving away from U.S. treasuries. They're moving away from U.S. treasuries as a way to store wealth. They're moving away from the U.S. dollar as a way to conduct trade. We're getting new agreements that are coming out. Guys, it's happening. The feathers are flying, right? Right? It's time to put boots on the warehouse floor, however you want to say it. This is really happening in real time. Everybody else is asleep. We've talked about that many, many times. Everybody else is asleep. but it's happening right now. The countries of the world. Hey, thank you for the super chat, Ron. And I think there was another one that, or Don. I'm sorry, Don. Maybe I'm a narcissist. I call Don Ron. Ron Don. Ron Don. Ron John. Don How. Thank you for the super chat. Okay. There's another one. I'm going to go back and see it. Hold on here because it's very important. Super chats are a great way that you guys show appreciation. Did I miss another one? I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Okay. The countries of the world are abandoning the dollar. When the dollar goes down in value, gold goes up. When gold goes up a little bit later, like we just discussed, on a delayed reaction, silver goes up. But the little bonus is silver goes up even more. So the countries of the world, they don't want to buy treasuries, right? They don't want to use the dollar, okay? Henny, thank you for the super chat, okay? Thank you. Thank you, CoinShop Chris. But why? Why? Because the countries of the world, they don't want to buy treasuries because they know 10 years from now, 15 years from now, when they look at the financial condition of the United States of America, they know they're worried that they're going to get paid back even. And if they do get paid back, they know the value of those dollars will be much depreciated. What if we give them some of this? I'll tell you one thing I like about these Roundhouse overalls are these pockets. Look at this. That's a 5-ounce silver coin. What do you think that's going to be worth? If you're China or you're Saudi Arabia or you're Russia or you are, what's the other country? India. What are you going to put are you going to buy U.S. treasuries or are you going to buy some of that? Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah. No, you're going to buy some of this. It's in this pocket. Jeez. Man, I'll tell you what, these overalls, that's a 10-ounce bar. That's the old standby I used to use all the time on the show. Anyway, that's what's going on. And what are they doing? What are they doing? What is China doing? What is Russia doing? What is Brazil doing? What is India doing? They're putting their money into precious metals. What are the central banks of the world? I know you're tired of hearing it, but it's so critical. What are the central banks of the world doing? They're not buying treasuries. They're not buying dollars. No, they're buying gold and they're buying silver as well. Thank you, BB Moosey. I appreciate the super chat, my friend. 300 people on here. We got 100 thumbs up. I'm going to ring the bell 10 times. All right, thumbs up help. It's like a virtual hug. Now we got 110. I'm going to ring the bell 11 times. I ring the bell one time for each 10 thumbs up. This is the 3-second bell warning. 1, 2, 3. And a bonus ring, okay? So guys, eventually the bond market's going to break. This is not a doom and gloom show. This is a show about silver getting to $85. This is a show about gold setting a new record and why that record is so important. We're going to talk about that, okay? But the bond market is going to break. Either that or the dollar is just going to be so devalued that your people are going to be your neighbors that are clueless right now, right? That aren't in the basement. Maybe your neighbors are watching Netflix or whatever. Nothing against Netflix, nothing against whatever. Maybe they're reading about their favorite football quarterback, whatever. That's great. Nothing against football. But that neighbor, Mr. Joe or Mr. Jerry, like my neighbor up the street, they're going to wake up and they're going to be like, wow, we need gold. And it's starting to percolate right now, right? Let's talk about Costco briefly. It's starting to percolate, right? When Costco puts gold on their website, it sells out immediately. Immediately. It's starting to percolate. People are realizing after a couple of years, right? Oh, yeah, right. My dollar only gets me 65 or 70% of what it got me just 3 or 4 years ago. It's happening, okay? Despite, this is interesting. Well, before we get into that, if you want to get your hands on some silver or gold right now, before it's too late, not that it is. I don't know. I can't predict the future, but check out Pimbex, Pimbex, Pimbex.com. Online bullion dealer. Do your own work. Put them into the mix next time you're out looking for bullion. Okay, I think you'll find what I found. Best prices, best service, best reputation, okay? And you can call them on the phone if you want to. If you ever start to consider doing an IRA rollover, where you convert an IRA into silver or gold, also do yourself a favor. Talk to Pembex as well. They can help you with that. They can show you, and I think what you'll learn if you talk to them is that there's a wide variance between the amount of metal you can get when you convert an IRA. And if you want to maximize the amount of silver or gold you get, again, it's always the same stuff, right? American Eagles, whatever you decide, check out Pembex and compare them to what you're being offered from other companies. I think you'll find that Pembex is also best in that regard as well. Now, let's move on. We got more to talk about. Despite high interest rates, I heard one of the mainstream media people say this yesterday. Despite high interest rates, the gold price is close to a new lifetime high measured in US dollars. Despite the fact, I'm telling you, imagine you and I, right? We're buddies, we're neighbors. We want to go for a jog. We go out for a run. You say, let's run 3 miles down the road. We go out for that run and the wind is blowing 20 miles an hour. Have you ever tried to run? I don't like to exercise, right? Which can be proven by the smartwatch that my buddy Ricky gave me that tells me I need to exercise more. But I used to be a college soccer player and I was forced to run all the time. There's nothing as bad as running into a headwind, into a 15, 20 mile per hour wind. You can still run, but it's very difficult. That is exactly what the gold price and the silver price have been doing for the last 2 years, and that's what that means when that person said, despite high interest rates, we've got near an all-time high. Guys, it's going to be, when the wind stops blowing into the face of gold and silver, and I would say that the wind has dropped down. I don't know how you feel. I feel like the wind has dropped down from 20 miles an hour down to 5 miles per hour. We're still running into a bit of a headwind, but if that wind shifts, when we actually do get, right, it's not so much interest rate cuts, it's when the sheeple figure out that the Fed is going to have to devalue the dollar, that it's the only way out for the Federal Reserve and Janet Yellen over at the Treasury. It's their only option. And when the market wakes up to that, we get a tailwind. We get a wind blowing from behind to help the silver price and gold price. And you know what? Like I said earlier, the feathers are starting to fly right now. Like when a bird, it's getting very exciting right before our very eyes. And what's even crazier, when we talk about silver, is silver will be turbocharged through this process from many different factors that will be pushing the silver price to levels that you and I can only imagine. All right. I know it's going to happen. I'm 53 years old. I don't know how old you are, but you're probably somewhere around my age, right? We still got a lot of time. And I'm telling you, we're going to see silver prices like we can only imagine. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So do you feel, I want to ask you this question, have the winds shifted? Are we moving into a new paradigm, a new climate, a new environment, a new frontier for the silver price? Have we been delivered through the valley of despair when it comes to precious metals? I believe we have. I believe that we are in a new environment, and that's what I'm going to type. Thank you, Stacking Server. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. New environment. I believe it's happening right now. Hello, Mike Hara. Hello, Mud. Hello, Mud. I hope so too. I don't just hope. I believe absolutely it's happening right? Remember, we talked about this 6 months ago. We talked about this a year ago, basement dwellers, right? We've been fighting. We've been surviving, right? And the analogy we used to always use with each other is like when it rains, I don't know where you live, but here in St. Louis, sometimes it'll rain for like 3 or 4 days straight. And it's like, oh my gosh, it feels like it's never going to stop raining. But it always stops raining. And the environment that silver and gold find themselves in always changes. Hey guys, thank you for those super chats. Don't forget, let's get to 200 thumbs up. Today may be a 300 thumbs up day, and at 300 thumbs up, I will ring the gong. At 200 thumbs up, we will ring the loud, obnoxious cowbell, okay? And thumbs ups are free. And subscribing to the channel, critical thing to do if you subscribe to the channel, press the bell so you get notified every time. And you know what, Susie? My wife, right, the other half of the basement, she'd like for me to remind you because she works on our Twitter page a lot. We are on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, I think it's at Ron's Basement or at Basement Ron, or I don't know. You might have to search a little bit. I guess I should know that if I'm plugging it, but I don't know. But I do know because I'm out there and I do follow the Twitter as well that we're out there and growing. So check us out on Twitter. Hey, Stacker Factor. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, we got some big videos. I'm going to be talking to Andy Schechtman next week. I'm going to be talking to representatives from New Hampshire about legal tender legislation. Guys, these guys are working, right? The Citizens for Sound Money. Thank you. Wow, Don. Man, the Citizens for Sound. Thank you, Don. Thank you. That will be good to good use for Christmas presents. The Citizens for Sound Money are working to further legal tender legislation all across the country. We're talking about Florida, and I'm going to be talking to a state senator from Florida next week. There'll be videos, interviews you can watch. State representatives from New Hampshire, Missouri. You guys know Pat Holland. Who loves Pat Holland? Huh? I love Pat Holland. I'm going to put Holland. Oh, I can't spell. Holland in the comments. We all love Pat Holland. This could be big because this new round of legislation, not only are they going to give you legal tender rights, okay, those will be like, remember, the founding fathers put it in the United States Constitution for a reason. Remember what Jefferson said. Thomas Jefferson said himself, the biggest threat to you and me, he said this hundreds of years ago, are big banks, big corporations, big central banks. We can say it. Thomas Jefferson said it, okay? He said they're more dangerous to you and me than standing armies. Thank you, Jack. Yeah, Bubba. Hey, man, we should have $35 silver right now. I'm going to get back on my track. Jefferson, right, told us that. So this legal tender legislation, it's not just legal tender legislation. It's not just your ability. I love these roundhouse overalls. You know, it's not just your ability to use this upside down silver bar, right, as money. No, now they're taking it steps further. They want to build state depositories where your state can store silver and gold. They want to enable your states, and Texas tried this and is going to try it again. Texas is another one, to give you asset-backed digital currencies, ABDCs, not CBDCs, AB. Easy to remember, ABDC. Is that how the alphabet goes? ACDC? Boy, this was funny. I was listening to an ACDC song before I came on here. Who made who? Anyway. Asset-backed digital currencies, where states are able to issue a digital currency, not a cryptocurrency, okay? Not a cryptocurrency. What we're talking about is making gold and silver functional in a modern world and having regulated, audited, not like Fort Knox, right? Do we know how much gold's in Fort Knox? No. It's never been audited. It's not transparent. right? We're talking about state depositories that have silver and gold and then are able to issue, based on the actual silver and gold in the state depository, are able to issue a digital token, a digital currency that you can use when you buy groceries, when you buy gasoline, when you go to the movie theater, what else do you like to do? Whatever you like to do. Go golfing. I don't like golf. It's too expensive. And I'm very frugal, but you know what I'm saying. It makes silver and gold functional. It's very interesting. It's very exciting. Don't forget, yeah, we'll get $85 silver, okay? And we did set a big record in gold that we are going to talk about. Thank you, First Mining Gold, for also sponsoring Ron's Basement. Guys, I've known the company for years. I've owned the stock for years. All of the junior mining stocks, and oh boy, we got another big bonus kicker. I just remembered that's going to tell us why silver and gold are going to blast off. And it has to do with junior mining stocks, something that nobody's talking about. You can be the first guy on the block to talk about this. We're going to talk about that as well. But First Mining Gold has been beaten down with all the other junior mining stocks. Interesting though, First Mining Gold has 13 million ounces of gold in the ground in Canada, Springpole in Ontario, and Du Parquet in Quebec. These are world-class, massive projects, okay? Some of the biggest projects in the world. Both have over 5 million ounces of gold in the ground. And they've got a host of other projects that have another 3 million. Altogether, they have 13 million ounces of gold in the ground in Canada. It's already been drilled. Hundreds of millions of dollars has been spent on drilling out these projects over the years. The valuation is unbelievable. If you're a contrarian investor, don't make any investment decisions based on anything I said, okay? I'm going to ring that cowbell for you guys. We got 200 thumbs up, but check out First Mining Gold, www.firstmininggold.com, and you can even talk to a real live human at a gold mining company. Paul Morris. He's originally from England. He has a British accent. But on top of that, he's knowledgeable. He's friendly. He's really loves to talk to investors, talk to them about the company and what's going on. Let's ring the cowbell, guys. What do you say? Now, look, this is a big tradition here in the basement. Some of you don't like it because it's too loud. So this is your 3-second warning because it's Friday. We're having a good day, and we're going to ring Mr. Cowbell. You guys want more cowbell? You got to tell me in the chat. You want more cowbell? Is that enough? You want more? Okay, you want more? All right, let's do it. Hold your ears. This one's for you. All right, I'm done. No more cowbell. No more cowbell the rest of the show. For those of you who don't like the cowbell and send me hate mail, that's it. Whew, my ears are ringing. Okay, so it's getting scary out there, guys. I mean, it's getting scary out there, okay? Let's talk about gold, and let's talk about, now we've already determined silver lags gold, and when silver does move, right, gold goes up 25%, silver doesn't really move. Then silver starts to move, but when it does move, it goes up much more. So instead of going up 25%, it goes up 50%. Those are nice round numbers, not predictions. But we'll see, and it sure feels like we're moving in that direction right now. Hey, thank you for being here. Don't forget, thumbs up, subscribe. It's free. Let's talk about the record we set and why it's so important. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you about these overalls as well. Don't let me forget to do that. But yesterday, November 30th, was a world record. A world record, a record for you, a record for me, a record for everybody alive in the world for gold. It was the first time in the history of the world that on a monthly basis, on a monthly close, that gold closed above $2,000. Why is that a big deal, you might be asking? What does that have to do with silver, you might be asking, right? Silver's half of what its all-time high was. Let's just touch on that real quick, then we're going to get back to this world record. The new all-time high in silver is $34 an ounce. That's the Ron's basement all-time high for silver. I'll tell you why. Those two times we had those spikes up in silver, 1980-ish, 2011, when silver shot up, and it was up there for like a day. It doesn't really count, okay? Yes, it happened. Yes, I'm not going to deny that. But from a trading perspective, from a value perspective, silver's been above $35 an ounce very little. When we get to 34, 35 an ounce, we're a new all-time high. If you don't like that, that's fine. You don't have to agree with me. But I believe that that's basically a new all-time high. That's when nobody's waiting to sell their silver because everybody's in the green, baby. And we are in the green. Things are good, right? We have put boots on the warehouse floor. But why is this gold price, November 30th close, above $2,000, such a big deal? I got to give some credit to this guy, Vince Lanci. He's another one who I'm going to have on the show. They call him the professor. He's on Arcadia Economics a lot. Vince is like super smart. We look at the big picture, I would call it. Some of these guys really know the intricacies and we all have different perspectives. Vince has a different perspective, right? Peter Grandich has we all have different perspectives. You have a different perspective. And I'm going to get back to Vince and what he said about this, and which is so critical. But I want to talk about you for a second. Yeah, you're important. As a matter of fact, right? This is not RonTube, it's YouTube. But why is that so important? Because without you, there is no Ron's Basement. And without you participating in sharing, in telling us your thoughts, we don't have an opportunity to learn. That's how we learn, is from each other. So I just want to say thank you. I'm not going to beg you to subscribe or beg you to give this a thumbs up. I'm just going to tell you thank you. It's a big deal you're here, and I appreciate your contribution. Now, Vince Lanci pointed out some interesting points. I'm going to read some of this to make sure I get it right. The highest monthly close ever. He described that as a magnet that will attract new money into gold. Is that maybe? Do you think maybe that's what we're seeing today? Right? Look, we've had a spike up. Who knows where the price is now? But we closed above $2,000. Doesn't matter if we get a tearjerker today in the gold price and the silver price. The fact that we got that monthly close, it's a magnet that attracts a lot of big money. That attracts momentum players. Because you know what? Everybody in the market these days, they don't look at fundamentals. Now, we know there's unbelievable fundamentals for gold and silver and $85 silver, which we are going to talk about. But that momentum money is a big money. And remember, there's hardly any money in the precious metals sector. Okay? You and I, we're like the people that got to the movie theater first and got the good seats. For that new Barbie movie. I know, Coin Shop Chris is just always, every time I talk to him, he wants to talk to me about the Barbie movie. He loved that movie. So anyway, just joking, Coin Shop Chris. We're early. Now, the momentum people show up, right? The people that like to buy Tesla and Facebook and Microsoft and Apple. Well, I buy Apple stock because I don't really know why, because everybody else buys it. Well, you know what? Some of those, I'm not saying anything. Some of those sheeple, whatever we want to call them, are going to start moving into the gold sector. And then even more of them. And then when they start talking when the sheep start, gold, amongst themselves, guys, remember, they're all going to be coming into the theater. We already got the good seats. There's a good point where there's going to be standing room only And that means when you go on to one of the big online bullion dealers to buy silver, they say, sorry, you got to wait 12 weeks minimum until we can ship it. Okay. You want to have your seat in the movie theater first. Okay. It's going to be big money that comes in as well. We're going to have some more big money coming in. This is a big deal that we closed at above 2,000 for the first time ever in the gold price. Have you noticed? Have you been paying attention? How often do you look at the gold price? But have you noticed? I look at it 13 times a day. Have you noticed gold and silver both in the last 6 weeks? You know, anytime the beat downs, the manipulation, right? The price manipulation that goes on at the COMEX and the LBMA are not so favorite people in this world, okay, has been less effective and less frequent. Gold gets beat down and it bounces right back. Silver gets beat down and it bounces right back. But I'm telling you, right now, silver should be at least $30, $35 per ounce. And it will happen, and it will happen because the lag we talked about is just now going to start kicking in. But it gets even crazier. This is what nobody's talking about when it comes to the precious metals. We know sentiment is still in the toilet. Remember, we're knocking on the door now. We went from stone's throw to spitting distance. We're going to do an upgrade right now here in the basement when it comes to the silver and gold price, specifically to gold for a new all-time high measured in dollars. We're no longer in spitting distance. Now we are knocking on the door of a new all-time high, okay? And at the same time, we have sentiment. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Or do they? Because there's something very interesting going on that nobody's talking about. And we're going to talk about that next. But first, I want to hear from you. Do you feel it? Are we knocking on the door? How do you spell knocking? N-O, K-N-O, no, K-N-O-C-K-I-N, knocking? Type knocking. Are we happy? Are we knocking on the door? Can anybody else type knocking? Sassy Silver. Hey, before I forget, thank you, Don. Again, thank you, everybody, for the super chats. I got a massive, Don, wow, super nice of you, my friend. That's all the super chats are super appreciated, never expected. Are we knocking? We are knocking. Yeah, pounding. Oh, I almost forgot. I forgot to do this yesterday. Okay. And I'm not supposed to ask you guys to type things one after another, but look, 8 is great. And these moderators, Annie Oakley, Jim M., Jake, Sassy Silver, Coin Shop, Chris, the one and only, and there's a link in the description of this video and any video if you ever want to help support Coin Shop Chris. Nonetheless, all you guys, the moderators are great. 8 is great, and they make this a fun experience, and they help the channel in many ways. I'm going to type, yep, you guys are already doing it. 8 is great for the moderators. Okay, Ricky's house of crap. Susie does not like when I say that. But Ricky, good to see you, my friend. And you know I love that username. Okay. There's something nobody's talking about when it comes to the silver and gold market. We have, can you guys hear me? We have really bad sentiment, right? Like nobody cares. Like if silver and gold were a voice, it would be like mine right now. Nobody's paying attention. We're knocking on the door of new all-time highs for gold, okay? You know that, okay? We've talked about that ad nauseum. There's something new I want to share. This is brand new. Brand new. And it has to do with the price of silver and the price of gold. But, all the junior mining companies have to raise money. That's how they survive, right? They're either explorers, developers, they have to go to the market and raise money. And in this horrific sentiment environment, a lot of these small mining companies, their stocks have been beat down really low, right? It's just all of them have been beat down really low. So they have to raise $5 million, $6 million, $10 million to help fund themselves for the next 12 months or so. There's something crazy going on. And I'll tell you what I think it means. But every one of these companies that's been going to the market to raise money, Treasury Metals, First Mining Gold, Brixton, right? Those are ones that I watch closely because I own. They'd say, oh, we're going to raise $6 million. And they get it from people with big money. Okay, people that are going to say, okay, I'll buy $100,000 worth, or I'll buy $1 million worth, whatever. In the case of First Mining Gold, Keith Neumeyer, right, the founder of the company, also the CEO and founder of First Majestic Silver, came in and bought over $1 million of First Mining Gold stock. Okay. But what we're seeing is these financings where they say, well, we're going to raise $6 million. Now they're all being upsized, which means there's demand, massive demand from the big money crowd to get in and be a part. It's kind of like an IPO. Remember IPOs? It's the same type concept. To me, I think that's, you got the Costco gold situation going on, but then you also have that situation going on. To me, that says that sentiment has changed. That to me, that's a sign. That's a signal. That's a beacon. That's a signpost. We're seeing it everywhere. We're seeing it everywhere. It's going on. Now, look, guys, I've been doing this little segment. Let's see, what did I forget? Where's my list? Hold on here. Bear with me. What did I forget, Coin Shop Chris? Oh, we got to get to 300 thumbs up, man. Huh? Guys, when we get to 300 thumbs up, I will ring the gong. Where's the gong? There it is. See my little earring there? I'll ring that gong. Thank you. Man, Silver State, go, gold, go. Yeah, we are happy today. What a great, great day. In December, I do my best to help you guys out with Christmas presents. Look, I'm not joking. I bought these suckers. These are Roundhouse overalls. I bought them like 2 years ago. They are the most comfortable piece of clothing that I have. Roundhouse overalls are from Oklahoma. It was some city where there was the world's biggest train roundhouse. They've been making them for, 100 years. Very interesting. But you can actually get them on Amazon, and I'm going to leave a link below. And what's cool about them, right, is you can put your whole silver stack. It's got all these pockets. I think I showed you that earlier, right? Yeah, look at that. Lots of pockets. Make sure if you buy overalls that you get a waist size that's 2 inches bigger, okay? Absolutely. And there's a link in the description. Go check them out. They're on Amazon. They're like $50 or something like that. But maybe it's a good gift for a husband or maybe your wife, but make sure you get the waist size 2 inches bigger. That's it. No more overall talk. Let's talk about China. We haven't talked about China today. Guys, oh my gosh. Hey, congratulations. Man, you guys are blowing me away today with these super chats. Congratulations, my friend. And thank you for this as well. You know what I'm talking about. Okay? Wow. Thank you, Mr. J. JB. Wow. Thank you, guys. Let's talk about China real quick, because we always hear, here's another source of demand that could blow up the silver price and gold price. Young people. And I'm telling you, right, Buttercup might be on here right now, my favoriteest nephew in the whole wide world. Okay, he comes and watches. He's like 24 years old. Okay, Bobby, you know who I'm talking about as well. These are like relatives of mine who are in their 20s, 30s that are smart people that are interested in silver and gold. That's a whole new source of demand. These young kids are getting educated on the monetary system. But let's talk about China, because quickly, this comes from our friend Pixie at Substack. Hold on a second. Where'd it go? Here we go. Nope. Wait a minute. There it is. Okay, here's the headline. To grow wealth, China's Gen Z is buying gold, one bean at a time. A whole article about how 20 and 30-year-olds in China are again, there's a craze in China called gold beans. They're typically 1 gram little beans of 24 karat gold, right? 0.999 gold. And they buy them. I mean, this is crazy. These young kids, it's like a craze. And we don't get to see their social media. They don't get to see our social media. But apparently it's a massive craze in China where these young kids, like on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis, buy these different little beans. And some of them are shaped like whales and whatever. But if you do the math on 1.4 billion people in China, I did the math at one point and it was absolutely astounding. I'm telling you guys, we are heading, it's here. It's here. All right. We've been delivered. It's here. Can we get to 500 people on the live stream? I can't believe this. Hold on. I'll pull it out. I'll pull out the old reasons why we want to own silver list if we can get to 500 people. But first, stay with me. You want to know the real reasons why silver is going to get to $85 and Coin Shop Chris and I are going to come visit you? I'm going to get to it. We need to get to 500 people. But first, I got to do the gong. Bear with me. I'll be fast. Thank you, guys. This has been an unbelievable live stream. 3 rings of the gong for you. Now, stay with us. We're going to get to 500 people. And I'll ring it 5 times then. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's talk about silver. Silver. Hi-ho, silver. Come on, 500 people. Nobody leave the live stream, please. Okay? COMEX inventories. Did you see? Big article on Silver Dijon Club. Last night, but that yesterday, apparently, right, to manipulate the price of silver down, they sold naked short. They naked shorted, I think it was like 20 million ounces of silver. Okay. The COMEX inventories, the LBMA inventories registered, the stuff they can actually deliver on contracts is down, 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 down. More and more silver is being sourced directly from the miners. People are avoiding the COMEX and the LBMA. We know that in China, the big refiners, the people that are providing all the silver to all the solar panel manufacturers are laughing at the COMEX, laughing at the LBMA. We know that the Shanghai Gold Exchange has a much higher price typically for silver, and that the Shanghai Gold Exchange is a physical market. You're telling me we're not getting $85 silver anytime soon? Come on, guys. Hey, we got 500 people. We got to ring the gong 5 times. We're going to talk more silver. All right. All right. You're telling me, right? Right? Mexico, the world's biggest producer of silver, like 30% of the world's silver. No more open pit mining, right? Mexico is making it very difficult for mining companies right now. That's a fact. And let me remind you, there's only so much silver on the planet Earth, okay? All right, electric cars, Bank of America just came out, stunning demand profile from electric cars alone. We've kind of forgotten about that because we've been talking about solar, but the electric cars, right? It's crazy. Elon Musk just last night, and I got to admit, it's pretty darn cool looking. The Cybertruck, they just started delivering these Cybertrucks, and I don't know if you saw this. Maybe you're a farmer like me, Roundhouse overalls, but nonetheless, the Cybertruck, they did like a tractor pull. This is crazy. There's 2 things. The Cybertruck, it's the new Tesla truck. It's crazy. They did a tractor pull and it like blew away. It went way further where they drag weights, behind the truck or a truck pull. It like blew away the Ford F-350 Super Duty. But what's even crazier, the same truck, right, is they say faster than a sports car. So they did a drag race on a drag strip, right, between a Cybertruck, and I'm not a Tesla stock owner, I'm not a Tesla, but this is crazy. A drag race on a drag strip, and you know that Cybertruck's got a lot of silver in it. It's even colored silver, but it's some special alloy that they developed. Nonetheless, a drag race, I won't say that again, on a drag strip, I won't say that again either, between a Tesla Cybertruck and a Porsche 911. And guess who won? The Cybertruck won, but that's not it. But wait, there's more. There's more. The Cybertruck beat the Porsche 911, and then at the end they show that the Cybertruck was towing a trailer with a Porsche 911 on the trailer when it beat the Porsche 911. Thank you, Ron McAdams, for that super chat. Always super appreciated, never expected. So the Cybertruck beat a Porsche 911 while the Cybertruck was also hauling a Porsche 911. Anyway, tell me electric cars. You know, I'm not, we did a poll. We're not a bunch of electric car people here in Ron's basement, but it appears that that's the way the world's going. It's antimicrobial. It's the most reflective. And guys, don't forget, if you don't know this, I know my buddy JB knows this. Silver conducts electricity like nothing else. Point A to point B. Silver will conduct 100% of the electricity. Point A to point B. Copper will only conduct like 90, I don't know, I've heard 86, 96%, but the rest of that electricity generates heat. Okay, if you have a critical need for something electronic, you're going to use silver. You know, there's a lot more women joining us as well, between younger people and women. Isn't it awesome? Welcome aboard the Silver Ship. Welcome to Ron's Basement. We're glad you are here, right? It's a big, big deal. What did I forget to ask you guys today? Hold on a minute. Thousands of people, Twitter. Oh, don't forget, www.ronsbasement.com. We got 550 people here right now. You can go to the website, ronsbasement.com, register there, use your same username that you use here, and it's a 24-hour chat room where you guys can duke it out all night long. Let the feathers fly. Put some boots on the warehouse floor anytime. Don't forget about that as well. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. I'm overwhelmed by the fact that you are here. Thank you. I'm overwhelmed by what's going on in the silver and gold market. I'm overwhelmed by the generosity that you've shown us today in our family. Thank you. Okay. I'll be back in the meantime, right? Remember, you're important, right? Not just to me, not just to these other people, but to a lot of other people. But you're a very important part of Ron's Basement. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.